Sup? It's Hallie. Welcome back to DDLC Plus. I didn't think I was going to be recording more of this, but as it turns out, there's one last little thing you can get by getting 100% completion. But before we check out just what the heck test VM is, I need to gripe a little bit, because getting this little number to 100% is kind of unreasonable. Because here's the thing. In order to get full completion in this game, you need to get all of the special poems along with the ghost menu. This little sucker is a 1 in 64 chance every time you start up the game in X2. It was a little easier to get in the original because you could just close the game right away and restart it. But in Plus, you don't really have that luxury, so you have to wait through the little intro song to get to the actual menu so you can exit the game to try again. So, yeah, getting that is kind of cumbersome. But the special poems are what really kills it, because, like, there's 9 of these things that you gotta get, right? In truth, there's 11 of them, but 2 of them do not count for this menu, for whatever reason. But, yeah, you have to restart the game to randomize which ones you get, and the random pool can pull the same poem more than once, just like we saw, and it does not draw uniquely on repeat playthroughs, so you just have to keep trying and crossing your fingers and hoping that you got the poems that you needed, and if you didn't, well, you get to reset the game and go all the way through Act 1 again, and like the reset process takes a while, and it's just a huge pain in the ass. Let's be perfectly honest. I don't know what they were thinking with that. But there is one other thing that unlocks whenever you get 100%, and it's this little email right here. From Paula Miner. We need to have a meeting about shifting our focus a little bit. We've reset VM1 how many times now? Yeah, for real, how many times now? We've definitely collected as much data as we can from it at this point. We just need to work with what we have and try to increase the stability of our connection to VM2. We've obviously gotten spoiled by the ease of access that VM1 offers us, but it's just unrealistic for someone in real life to be granted a level of elevation even close to monitor kernel access. If we can't establish a stable connection to VM2, then how can we expect to get anywhere when the same scenario inevitably occurs to our own universe? Anyway, thanks to Rose's work, we were able to acquire a few rudimentary logs. I have an idea on how to increase connection stability to VM2 while maintaining weak hypervisors access to everyone inside on an individual basis. Ironically, it has to do with something that they're building in their own VM. I'll go into detail in a more formal report, but some of the log files indicate attempts of theirs to pool together the access potential of multiple individuals into a single parallel unit. It sounds ridiculous, but if they actually get somewhere with it, then we might have a solid entry point that doesn't heavily intrude upon the VM. I'm going to spin up a read-only hypervisor that we can use to test different ideas like this. The elevation level will be set to monitor adjacent runtime level access. The VM will just be named Test VM for now, although the parallel access unit that they're building in the VM seems to be called Pt.XE, according to the few logs we have. We can change the name once we actually get a decent picture of it. So there we go. There's our tie-in to Pt.XE. And in case you couldn't tell, monitor kernel access is Monica. And down here we have this Marla. So those are some little things to think about, I guess. Also, in my efforts to learn what else I was missing, I found out what's up with these internal files. Apparently, during specific moments during the day, files will, like, randomly spawn into here. Well, no, it's not random. It's fixed. Like, oh, hey, it's still here. This one. Oh, we're unable to open it. Try again later. Yeah, this one's only available at 2:40 on the clock, and this one's actually required for an achievement. But there's a bunch of those that just pop into here, and you can only read them during certain times. So that's what's up with that, in case you were wondering. But now, without further ado, let's just see what the test VM actually is. Attempting to decode binary data. Male and infertile children can still be trained for specialized something or other. I'm sure the ARG people are having a field day. Connection lost. Okay. Does it say the same thing? Or is it going to be something different? No. Emotions are the dials and switches that override rational thought and can be fine-tuned to exert a great deal of control upon... I guess our connection to this VM is just not solid enough. I'll tell you what, if Dan ever gets his Project Libitina thing done, that's going to be one hell of a day. All have functional reproductive systems, then we could produce new, potent children with incredible efficiency, and sudden death would be a less... Do I want to know how that sentence ends? Full disclosure, dear viewer, I saw the full list of these logs on the subreddit already. Somebody data mined them up as images. But I have no idea what they mean. No idea what the rest of this code might have been, well, decoded as. Meditation of some sort. We do not. Oh, is that all we get? That's all we get out of that? But I'll keep poking it, I guess, until we get a duplicate, and then we'll call it there. How's that sound? The one last little send-off to this series is far stronger during collective sessions, which makes me believe the Nexus will have incredible... So much garbage text. Connection lost. Who don't have a third eye struggle to understand what current science cannot tell them. I am disregarding... Are you sure it's safe to disregard anything here? Yeah, I feel like this is more of a word for those really hardcore people who, like, figured out all of DDLC's secrets within, like, 24 hours of it being released. I have no idea what might even come out of all of this, but to be perfectly honest, the ARG stuff never appealed to me, and just don't in general. Feels like a whole lot of work to find out basically nothing. Nothing practical. But that's just me. Material resistant to third eye penetration. Electromagnetic something or other. But, to each their own. If other people enjoy ARGs, they are more than welcome to engage in them as much as they please. Still waiting for somebody to solve the one I put in Shiro.cur, though. But that's just Take-Two not being popular enough for anyone to really care. Ventilation ducts in the basement also needed are airtight containers which can serve as both storage and dispensary of the ether. Alright. I don't know why you're storing or dispensing ether, but I'm a little curious. Name implies death, but of what? Only the material self. Our mission to become free of the material self is... Become free of the material self, huh? So yeah, from what we're gathering from, like, the metaverse emails and such, it seems like... Well, first of all, that DDLC is like an advanced AI simulation, but it also seems that these people are aware that they're also in a simulation. Like that email we read earlier in this video may actually produce tiny but detectable physical distortions in the area surrounding them, we might consider... But anyway, in that email we read earlier, they were talking about something happening to their own universe. Which kind of implies that they realize they're not exactly 100% real either. So there's like an extra layer of meta between DDLC and everything else now, which is kind of nuts. Maybe unnecessary. But, you know, if it gets people thinking and they're having a good time, who really cares? During birth, or the full trimester, the effects... that's all you're going to give me on that one, huh? We still haven't gotten a repeat, you know? Can only assume that even obstacles or failures are all a part of the great plan, even if beyond my comprehension. Great plan, eh? Wonder how it feels to be Dan and just know all the secrets and just trickle them out to people and drive them all crazy. Of which disassociation is a symptom. Conditioning... Oh, that's all we got there. Is the increased potency from proximity to others a temporary effect, or does it have a lasting impact on the strength of the third eye? Of their third eye, rather. You know how fascinating though all this is? I'm not sure I would say it was worth all the resetting I had to do to get 100% completion. That's how I feel about that. And there's our repeat. So I think that's going to do it for this episode and this series. Well, dear viewer, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll catch you next time with more Doki Doki. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.